Deputy Director Bray also testified that the rise in UAP reports this year could be because, as Chad said, the stigma has largely disappeared.
Our main objective was to transition UAP efforts from an anecdotal or narrative-based approach to a rigorous science and technology engineering-focused study. We also spent considerable efforts engaging directly with our naval aviators and building relationships to help destigmatize the act of reporting sightings or encounters.
So is the Pentagon really supporting the whistleblowers here, or is this more garden variety CYA? And what didn't they tell us in the hearings today? Here with me now, former director of the Pentagon's Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program. He was working there on the inside around all of this. Luis Elizondo is back. Welcome back, Lou.
Thanks for having me, Kennedy.
So what did you want to hear today that you didn't hear?
Well, actually, I think it was a mixed bag. First, if I can, let me give the good news. This was historic. Not in the last 50 years have we had anything quite like this to Congress. The last time was during Project Blue Book, and we had senior Air Force representatives testifying before Congress. Now, 50 years later, we have very senior DOD officials, intelligence officials testifying before Congress. So that's the good news. Also, I expect there's going to be more hearings in the future. Now, the bad news. This was largely pro forma. I think the congressman asked some very, very good questions. They're obviously well informed on the topic. DOD, however, came across a little bit flat. There were some moments there they definitely weren't being as forthcoming as they should. In fact, there were several moments, too, that they were contradicting themselves. And I think if people were to pour over the transcripts, they would see that. Happy to point those out if you like.
Yeah, just give us one or two of the contradictions. What do we know, and what did they say that contradicted that?
Well, Kennedy, you just said it yourself, right? They've been saying before that we know this is not American technology, what they say blue force technology. They testified today that that was the case, but then they also said that they didn't think this was foreign adversarial or, in the case that you talk about aliens. So, okay, so if it's not our technology, if it's not adversarial technology, it's not alien technology. Okay, then what is it? Those are the only choices that there are, and they're clearly obfuscating. Also, another issue that I had, they acknowledged my program, ATIP, that I was part of, and they acknowledged Blue Book, but there's a 45-year gap in between. And when they asked, what are you doing? When Congress asked them, what are you doing to collect any information that the U.S. may have in its possession from other programs and efforts that have existed, it was a big goose egg. It was nothing. They said, well, we're not doing anything. Well, then how can you say for the record that the task force has no material or anything like that in its possession when, in fact, you haven't done your due diligence? And, oh, by the way, you're saying the task force is doing all these wonderful things. You're talking to foreign countries, academia, the scientific community. And yet, didn't you just tell the American public 2 months ago that the task force had only 2 people, 2 full-time people? How exactly are you doing this analysis with 2 people? How are you getting the information for investigating 400 incidents and talking to our foreign allies and our scientists and members of academia with 2 people?
Well, also, and if all of this poses a grave national security threat, which is, something that they're admitting by moving this into, the DOD to a more militaristic sphere, then if it is a grave threat, then why would you only have 2 people working on it? And, it's also interesting that it is going into the technological realm. Doesn't that tell you that they have some material evidence in their possession, even though they continue to deny that?
Kennedy, it's in the law. I mean, it's no law of the land that this was co-sponsored. Remember, this was bipartisan. This was both co-sponsored by Senator Gillibrand and Senator Marco Rubio, coming together on this topic with countless numbers of other senators and congressmen. I'll tell you, Congressman Gallagher today asked a great question. And, he said, look, what are you doing to find the historical information that the DOD may have or the intelligence community? And the answer was nothing. And yes, you're right. There are some inferences there that if it's law that you have to do material science and collect material, and yet you're saying you don't have any, well, that doesn't really comport very well. So I have to be careful what I say on that topic. I've been told I really can't elaborate. I've said for the record my piece from my time in ATIP on what I think about material. unfortunately, that's as far as I can go with that, as I've been told.
All right. I understand the implication there. I appreciate it. I know that you are probably in the confines of some sort of a mutually agreed upon document. However, tell me about communication, because they also said that we have not tried to communicate with potential authors of these craft.
You know, another great contradiction, right? They say that we didn't try to communicate, and yet they're turning around and they're admitting that there's certain RF signatures, RF frequencies that are being admitted, right? Emitted by these things. So whether it's for command and control or for communications or whatever, navigation, they say, yes, there is an RF signature associated with these from time to time, and yet we're not trying to collect on it, right? So on one side, you have electronic warfare operations, which that's their job to understand what the enemy is doing. But then on the other hand, they talk about drones over a military warship. Well, guess what? There are protocols in place and policies that if you see an aircraft over a military ship, an armed ship doing maneuvers, there are protocols to communicate using basically your radio frequency to try to say, hey, look, you're in our airspace. We're doing live fire drills, live fire operations, try to deconflict the air. So again, there is yet another contradiction. You're saying you're not trying to do anything. You're not squawking friendly. Look, I lived on the Chesapeake, and I know that when there was a Navy boat there, if I got my boat anywhere near a Navy vessel, they were going to shoot me out of the water. Everybody that had boats on the Chesapeake knew that. That was the protocol. And yet you mean to tell me there are things flying over our Navy assets, and we just sit there and look at the pretty lights? That's not the Navy that I know.
Yeah, it also doesn't make a lot of sense. That sounds like the Green Navy, which is not the best Navy. But absolutely, if there were something that were hostile and close, you would hope that our military was communicating with it, if for no other reason than to figure it out and to keep us safe. They say that they are not engaging in a cover-up, but there's so much gray area still here that that's where the room is for conjecture and conspiracy theories. And, you know, we deserve more transparency, and you deserve vindication. Lou, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. Go ahead.
You got it, Kennedy. Thank you for having me. No, I was just going to say, you know, let's offer amnesty to these folks. Let's wipe away their NDAs. Let them talk to Congress and the government, and maybe we'll have some answers.
Absolutely. Well said, Lou. Thanks again.